Hey there guys, it's Liz here, your integrative health practitioner, and in today's training, I'm going to be giving you guys some top tips on how you can begin to rebalance your body while currently being on birth control, or especially after being on birth control. Some of the top complaints that I hear from women once they started using contraceptives or after they have, discontinued contraceptives is dealing with, a lack of periods. They may have amenorrhea. They may have irregular periods in general. They may be dealing with infertility, hair loss, hypothyroidism, autoimmune issues such as Hashimoto's or Graves' disease, which are both thyroid related. You have acne, you have a lot of mood changes like excessive irritability or anxiety, depression, PMS symptoms worsening, migraines, headaches. So these are just some of the many different symptoms that are hormonal based symptoms that can occur and honestly be part of this constellation of symptoms known in the functional medicine world as post-birth control syndrome. And if you would go and talk to your practitioner about this in the conventional medicine space, it's very likely that they wouldn't acknowledge it. And what's hard is because they are really looking to give a diagnosis. Like, this isn't a disease, it's a syndrome. And so we really have to look at the person's health history and what their current symptoms are at as well, and say, what is going on here? And how has your contraceptive use possibly affected you? So I want to do this video, this training, in order to empower you so that you feel equipped, so that you feel like you are not crazy, and so that you don't think that you have to default to going back on birth control if that's not what you choose to do. If you're like me and you're like many of my clients, when you've tried to come off of birth control, if you had so far, you may be miserable. You may be experiencing symptoms that you either never had before or that you did have before you started birth control, and that was the whole reason that you went on birth control to begin with, was because you were tired of breaking out like crazy. You were tired of having irregular periods or heavy periods. Whatever the reasoning was for you, birth control may have been your initial solution. But I want to help you guys understand how you can start to rebalance your body and really what is going on in your body that is causing these symptoms in the first place. We really want to focus on root causal medicine in the end. Again, I'm never judging someone. If you choose that birth control contraceptives are the best choice for you, then I more than power to you, girl. I mean, this is your choice. My goal is to simply just educate so that we don't always feel like, if a doctor looks at us like we're a hypochondriac, or there's no way that your symptoms are related to you being on birth control or coming off of birth control, or, the only reason that you're gaining weight is because you eat like a pig and you need to work out, not because you've had your thyroid and other hormones affected by birth control. I want you to start to be aware of really what could be going on here, okay? So as always, if you guys have any questions, post them in the comments, but let's dive into this. So what are the primary things that are happening to your body when you're on contraceptives that are causing some of these symptoms that I already listed? Well, gut damage is very prominent, especially in the pill. But guys, a lot of this damage and inflammation and other symptoms can occur with IUDs and the shot and some other methods of contraceptives. I did a full contraceptive review about a month ago at this point. If you did not see that training and you would like to be tagged in that or connected with that training, just type BC review in the comments, and I'm more than happy to make sure that you get connected with that training and I do a full review. Pros and cons, potential side effects, things like that, of the primary forms of contraceptives used these days. So I do go over that in great depth, great detail, but gut damage absolutely is one of the primary effects of birth control, specifically with the pill. Leaky gut, very, very common when you're on the pill, especially. So leaky gut is basically when your gut can become permeable and stuff starts to leak out of it, going into your bloodstream, adding to autoimmune issues, could potentially lead to Hashimoto's and Graves and other autoimmune-based diseases. And it can also lead to things like food sensitivities. that can stem from leaky gut, acid reflux, bloating, digestion issues in general. Women that tell me, listen, I drink a sip of water, Alyssa, and I already feel bloated. What the heck is going on? So a lot of gut issues can stem from birth control use. And then nutrient depletion is the second major thing. So a lot of nutrients can be completely wiped out. Your stores can be completely wiped out when you're on certain forms of birth control, especially with the pill. A lot of this is exacerbated. So vitamins like vitamin B12, vitamin B2 and B6, vitamin C, vitamin E, selenium. Selenium is directly tied to thyroid function. Folate. Folate is a big deal because if you want to conceive, you need adequate stores of folate. If you want to develop a healthy fetus, you need folate. So you want to make sure that you are keeping that in mind of what nutrients can be depleted when you are on certain forms of birth control. So what can we do about this? Well, we know that we can replenish those nutrient stores like the ones I just listed. I recommend all my clients to take a good quality daily activated multivitamin. You can actually find my top recommendations for a lot of these supplements in my preferred product guide. It's a free guide out there with my top brands that I love and explanations as to why I choose those brands. If you haven't accessed that, the link is in my bio if you're watching this on Instagram. Otherwise, I will try and link it up in the comments if you are watching this on YouTube, or you can just comment PPG and I will send you the direct link to this guide. So you can go in there and see the forms of vitamin C, daily activated multivitamin, activated B complex, and different things like that that I put in there as well. So replenishing nutrient stores is huge. You also want to make sure that you are detoxing properly, especially if you're coming off of birth control. We want to get that synthetic form of estrogen out of your system as soon as possible. And your liver is the primary organ that's going to be responsible for metabolizing estrogen. This synthetic form of estrogen that's in birth control is much more difficult to metabolize. So we want to open up the liver, really support those detox pathways, preferably through like a good quality functional medicine detox. If you guys want the link to the one that I typically use with myself and with my clients, with my family, feel free to let me know. Just put detox in the comments and I'm more than happy to send you the one that I have. If you want a much more comprehensive detox protocol, I can always send you that one too. It is a little bit more expensive, but for those with chronic illnesses, it can be more beneficial to do something more comprehensive that way, and I can help guide you through that. Okay, so let me know, put detox in the comments if that is you. So opening up those liver pathways, and as you're trying to open up the liver and detox the body, guess what else you need to make sure you're doing? You have to freaking poop. So if you're not pooping at least once a day, if not 2 or 3 times a day, we need to make sure that happens. That is a primary reason, even if you're not on birth control, if you have like estrogen dominant symptoms, like a lot of women that are dealing with symptoms related to their cycle, a lot of times it's with estrogen dominance. And so if you're not pooping regularly, a lot of stuff that your body's trying to excrete, a lot of the extra estrogen that your body's trying to excrete, you're not able to excrete because you're not pooping. Where's it supposed to go? Okay, so you have to make sure that you're having regular bowel movements. And if you're really struggling with good, healthy, regular bowel movements, there's a couple things that you can address. I mean, clearly the quality of your gut and the balance of your microbiome is important, but I've had a lot of clients have success by making sure that they are in a good quality probiotic so they can help to balance those bacterial cultures. Magnesium citrate or natural calm is one of my favorite ways to be able to very quickly regulate someone's bowels. A lot of times we are magnesium deficient, which can affect our bowel movements. And vitamin C can be really helpful to do that as well. In addition to getting enough fiber, a lot of us just don't eat enough freaking fiber and enough vegetables. And I would shoot for about 25 grams of fiber a day. So try not to skimp out on that. Add some extra, vegetables, good quality fiber to your shake. All right, or smoothie, whatever you do throughout the day. So if you feel like you're doing those things that I suggested for you and, give yourself about good 4 to 6 months to begin trying to rebalance, and preferably if you know you're coming off of birth control, I would prep your body for about 90 days beforehand. In that transition off, you're gonna have a much easier time, okay? But give yourself a good 4 to 6 months total. And if you still feel like you're experiencing symptoms after you've implemented some of the other things that I've suggested to you, then I highly suggest starting to dive deeper with myself or another practitioner into some other underlying root causes, or maybe further imbalances that just need more attention than what you've already done. So we could do functional medicine lab testing, doing saliva or blood or urine hormone testing. We could test the gut and really see with an organic acids test what it looks like and what we may need to do protocol wise to rebalance. But definitely take a look again back at your nutrition. Maybe you went and did a functional medicine detox, and maybe you are supplementing with good quality vitamins like I shared with you, but are you doing some of these other things nutrition wise to be able to continue to help detoxing? Are you taking in the right type of vegetables or foods that can really help to open up the liver pathways? Cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower and broccoli and kale really help to open up the liver. Are you taking in enough healthy fats like avocado and, first cold pressed organic olive oil, preferably? Omega-3s, a good quality omega-3 supplement. Are you taking in those building blocks necessary to make your freaking hormones in the first place? If you're not, you need to look at that, okay? So you gotta assess and make sure that you're looking at all the other building blocks, these food sources. Complete protein sources are super important as well to support your liver and support the other structures within your body. So never ignore nutrition. I know I like to share about supplements, replenishing nutrient stores, using a good quality functional medicine detox to assist in opening up liver pathways and to properly detox, but nutrition is very important as well, and we can do a lot with that, but just make sure you're not skimping out and just trying to supplement your way through everything. You can't necessarily out-supplement a poor diet, so you have to make sure that you are addressing that. And if you've done all these other things and still struggling, feel free to reach out to me, book a free breakthrough session either in the link in my bio or in the link in the description if you're watching this on YouTube, and I'm more than happy to talk to you about what your next best steps should be and how I can potentially help you. Mwah! Love you guys. God bless.